Hey guys, I hope you are having a stupendous, wonderful day today. If you love the Yankees but you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 19,000 subscribers, so if you could help us get there, that would be an absolute blessing. I don't want to say that this is going to be easy for the New York Yankees. And in fact, I'm not. I'm not going to say that. But what I will say is this. This is the easiest path. The easiest path for the New York Yankees in the 2024 postseason to make their way to the World Series. The easiest path. Now, the Astros, as we all know, lost to the Detroit Tigers in the wild card round. The Baltimore Orioles went 8-5 versus the Yankees this season, who the Yankees were going to face in the first round if they advanced, lost to the Kansas City Royals in the wild card round. So it's Tigers versus the Guardians, Kansas City versus the Yankees. This is the first time since 1980 that the Yankees and the Royals are going to be facing each other in the postseason. This is the easiest path for the Yankees for their chase for 28. The Yankees this year versus the Tigers were 4-2. Versus the Royals, 5-2. Versus the Guardians, 4-2. Overall, the Yankees were 11-6 this season versus the remaining American League teams that are currently in the postseason. The Yankees not having to face the Orioles, who played the Yankees well this season, going 8-5 against the Yankees. Not having to play them, not having to play the Houston Astros, who have a history of just ruining the Yankees' postseason hopes and dreams. And the Yankees not having to face them, not having to face the Orioles, is a gigantic blessing and is best case scenario for their 2024 postseason run. Now, the three AL Central teams, Tigers, Royals, and the Guardians, had a very distinct advantage over everybody else in Major League Baseball. And what was that advantage? Same with the Twins. What was that advantage? They all had 13 games apiece versus the worst team statistically in baseball history, the Chicago White Sox. They lost 121 games, the White Sox. The Tigers and the Royals both finished with the same record this season. Both finished in the wild card, which got them into the postseason. But only a game separated them and the Seattle Mariners. Only 4 games separated them and the Twins, but let's throw the Twins out there because they did play in the AL Central too. They did not capitalize on this, on facing the White Sox. The Boston Red Sox, I believe, 5 out of the wild card. The Royals went 12-1 versus the White Sox this season. The Tigers went 10-3 versus the White Sox this season. If they go 500, or if they go even a game or two above 500 versus the White Sox, similar to what the Guardians did at 8-5, these teams, the Royals and the Tigers, might not even be in the playoffs. If they didn't pounce on the White Sox like they did, if the Tigers didn't pounce on the White Sox, if the Royals didn't pounce on the White Sox, you're looking at the Seattle Mariners in the postseason. You're potentially watching the Boston Red Sox in the postseason. Not the Tigers. Not the Royals. They took advantage of this, but they had an advantage that the New York Yankees did not have. But what did the Yankees do? They played the Guardians well, the Tigers, and the Royals well this year. I'm not saying that the Tigers and the Royals should be taken for granted. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is this. Are the Royals good? They're okay. They got decent pitching. Waka had a nice solid year. Seth Lugo had a nice solid year. I'm not trying to take away anything from these teams, especially from the Royals who faced the Yankees in the first round. I'm not trying to take anything away from them. I'm really not. But they don't scare me. The Kansas City Royals scored 3 runs in 2 games versus the Baltimore Orioles. If the Royals scored 3 runs in 2 games versus the New York Yankees, the Yankees are up 2-0 in that respective series. They only scored 3 runs, all because of Bobby Witt Jr., and they won. They beat the Orioles. The Orioles weren't ready for that. Clearly, they're not ready for the postseason. The Royals don't scare me. Michael Wacha, his record, not his record, but his ERA on the road is almost a 4. And guess where he's pitching Saturday? At Yankee Stadium. Seth Lugo was taken out in the 5th inning. His most recent start versus the Orioles, the postseason. He doesn't scare me. The Royals don't, the Yankees, I think, they're going to go into Kansas City. Bold prediction here. They're going to go into Kansas City. And they're going to be up 2-0. That's what I think. Maybe Kansas City takes a game. Big whoop. If you go back to New York, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. You're not beating the Yankees. The Royals, I have a hard time believing that they're going to beat the Yankees. I do. Tigers, same thing. I have a hard time believing they are one of the hottest teams in baseball. What a tremendous bounce back months, whatever you want to call it. Awesome. It was great to see. After being sellers at the deadline, Skubal was rumored to be in a trade packages across the freaking league. And guess what? They kept him. They traded Jack Flaherty, who they wish they could have right now. And they made it to the postseason. They beat the Houston Astros. That's awesome. But in the ALCS, in a best of 7, they don't scare me. Especially Yankees having home field advantage, and especially the Yankees being one of the best road teams, and if not the best road team in Major League Baseball. The Royals, the Tigers, even the Guardians, who are the better team out of the 3, they don't scare me. You see this theme? I'm not scared. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. If the New York Yankees don't make it to the World Series, I would be shocked.